to introduce to you Jessica Franz. Jessica is running for State Central Committee, is currently a member of the school board in Bethel, and recently won that election in November. So we're going to talk about these things. This is the Tipp Center presents Meet the Candidates. Thank you for tuning in, and let's take this chance to get to know Jessica. Jessica, so every time I do these interviews, the first part is, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
So we'd like to get to know you as Jessica Franz. So
all right.
what is your life like?
Well, I am a homeschooling mother of 6. And, you know, that is my primary responsibility that God has given me at this time in my life, is to make sure that I do the best job that I can educating my children. I do have my oldest who's graduated in 2020, so just got 5.
So 5 students now?
Yes, 5 students now.
I got you.
And I do occasionally help my husband with his business. He has a molder mediation business. And I am now getting involved politically, which is very new.
So you got your hands full there.
Yeah.
So how old is your youngest child, and what grade are they in?
So my youngest son, he's 9, and then my oldest is 19. And then I've got 4 girls in the middle. So I got the bookend boys.
Okay.
4 girls in the middle.
I got you.
Yeah, about 2 years apart. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Oh, 2 years apart.
Yep.
There's a 2-year spread between all of them. I got you. Sounds like you have your hands full just with that. Like,
yeah,
that would be enough for me. I'm schooling 6, then 5. I'm done, you know. But you've decided, no, there's more. I need to do more. So what was it that prompted you? Now, we know already that you are serving on Bethel School Board. There's 5, I think you said 5 people.
5 board members, yes.
5 board members, and you ran in November, won the November election, and now you're serving on the board. First meeting was in January.
Yeah, that's when I was sworn in January.
Yeah. So what was it then that prompted you to do that?
So the backstory on that is a friend of mine and a mentor, she's also a state school board member, approached me and said, you know, I think that you should run for the school board. And I said, no.
No, I have my hands full.
But she kept at it, and she said, I think that you would do well. And of course I was concerned, even though I'm a homeschooling mother, we don't live in a bubble. I have friends with kids in the public school system at Bethel, and I was concerned about CRT, critical race theory, social emotional learning, and comprehensive sexual education. Knew that we needed some eyes and ears in the district to keep watch over that kind of thing. And the mandates were also a concern at that time.
Mass mandates and lockdowns and all of that, all of the above.
Yes, so I told her I'd pray about it, spoke with my husband. Long story short, ended up running, getting elected, sworn in January, and currently serving. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So since then, I don't mean to laugh, but since then, it got a little controversial there. So you were elected, and then life got pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the excitement currently taking place?
Sure. So that was something that I could not have even imagined. So the first time that I attended a board meeting and was sworn in, the superintendent announced that he'd made a decision that was supported by 3 of our board members to go ahead and allow a trans-identifying student to use the bathroom of the gender that the student identified with. As you can imagine, this caused quite a stir in the community amongst the parents, who this was just kind of dropped in their lap.
Yeah, there was totally like
no discussion, no.
Like somebody dropped a grenade.
Yes,
and
exactly.
There was no warning grenades were being thrown.
Right.
Now, the student, as I understand it, already was using a private bathroom.
Yes, the student was already being accommodated.
Yeah. So their particular wants or desires were being met. They had their own private bathroom.
Right. That's my understanding.
Yeah, but they decided, no, I want to use the other gender's bathroom.
Well, either they or
somebody.
The parents, whoever the guardians, decided at some point to approach the superintendent, administrator, and say this is no longer sufficient, and now for the reasons they specified, and then said, we'd like the student to begin using the bathroom of the gender they identify with. So,
no doubt there was some backlash to this, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And
privacy concerns, safety concerns, the fact that there was really nothing in place for guideposts on how this might be implemented safely. Safety and privacy are our district's, student safety. That's top priority. So there's a lot of questions about concerns with parents having safety.
this is
I would
probably not
imagine
like.
that there are some teenage
Well,
boys.
if I'm rewinding in my
that
mind
might
as a
not
teenage
have,
boy,
might think, well,
you
wait
know,
a second, this might be an opportunity to get into the boys' locker room.
I would find that a good
and things
opportunity.
Like that.
Well,
to,
and
you know,
make a good point, because again, the
go in
decision
rooms
was
I normally
made
would not be
without
allowed
there
in.
really being a lot of thought
And,
or consideration
I don't know personally
put
how I
into
would do
these
that,
kinds
probably
of things.
Yeah.
So
personally.
we're getting a
But I would
barrage
imagine
of questions like
that
that.
there are some teenage
like,
boys
well, what about?
that
I'm just
how are you
saying,
gonna keep?
you've
how
got
are you
the
gonna
person-
vet? How
yeah.
do you decide who
This might be
gets
an
to go
opportunity to get
to
in
the
the boys' locker
opposite
room.
sex's bathroom?
and
Yeah.
things like
And
that.
the answer is, well, and
Nobody
you
really
make a
could
good
answer the
point, because
questions.
again,
Yeah.
the decision
Because there
was
is
made
no one
without there
qualified
really being
to
a lot
vet
of
that
thought
kind
or
of thing.
consideration.
There was no one in
put
place
into
to
these
even
kinds of
vet.
things.
Yeah.
So we're
Those
getting a
kinds of
barrage
questions
of
that
questions
would
like
come
that.
up and make that kind
like,
of
well, what about?
determination.
Yeah.
how are you
Saying,
gonna
I mean,
keep-
there's
how
the
are you gonna
person
vet?
that
How do you
says, hey, I
decide
feel
who
like I'm
gets to
another
go
gender.
to the
Yeah.
opposite
Maybe
sex
that's
bathroom?
something they're
And the
really
answer
wrestling
is,
with.
Nobody really can
But
answer
at the
the
same
questions.
time,
Yeah.
Because
teenage
there
boys
is
are
no
teenage
one
boys.
qualified to
Yeah.
vet that kind of thing.
You know,
There was
there's
no one
gonna
in
be some
place
that
to
go,
even vet
hey,
those
this
kinds
is-
of questions
this is a
that
good
would
opportunity
come up
here.
and make
That's-
that kind of
that's a
determination.
Or,
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
And
there's
the
or
person
vice
that
versa.
says,
Maybe
hey, I feel
girls
like I'm another
they go,
gender.
hey, I can go. in the
Maybe
guys' locker
that is
room.
something
I
they're
can
really
go
wrestling
wherever I
with.
want to.
But
But
so
at the same time,
it's an
teenage
issue there.
boys are teenage boys.
I know as a father
Yeah.
of two children,
You
two
know,
girls.
there's
I have,
gonna be some
3
that go,
children,
Hey,
and my
this
oldest
is-
girl is
this is a good
14,
opportunity
My
here.
youngest
that's
is 9.
That's a possibility. And
I
we're
would
always
not
dealing
want,
with-
and
yeah.
or
Or vice versa. Maybe
Or vice
girls.
versa, yeah.
They go,
Or
hey, I can go in the
men
guys'
or-
locker room.
Right,
I can
right.
go
you
wherever
know,
I
and
want
when
to.
you're in high school, it could be
So
anywhere
it's
depending
an
on the
issue
school.
there.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere
I
from,
know as a
like, if you
father
go to a
of 2
school, it's got
children,
like 7
2
through
girls,
12,
I have 3 children.
And
you
we
know,
are a
and my
K through
oldest
12
girl is
Or a K through 12
14,
building,
my youngest is
and you
9.
can have. There's a lot of.
I would
there's a lot
not
of things
want,
there.
Yeah, there are.
Boys in their
with
bathrooms.
pedophilia
Or
and other things,
men
really
or-
kind of
Right.
with the internet and
you know,
all of
and
those
when you're in
things.
high school,
Yeah.
it could be anywhere.
So it's a big
from-
issue. It's not
depending on
just
the school.
something is.
Could be anywhere from
Like if
know,
you go to a school that's
we've-
got like
we have
7
a
through
separate
12,
bathroom
or-
if you want to go
And
in
we are
there.
a K
This
through
is
12
or a K through
building.
12
And
building,
the obvious
and you could
concerns
have.
from
There's a lot of
parents
there's a lot of things
you
there.
know, that have daughters
With
of,
pedophilia and other things,
being
really
violated
kind
in the
of
bathroom,
with the internet
privacy
and all of those
concerns,
things.
But also,
So it's
you know,
a big
I've
issue. It's not
had,
just something as
parents of teenage
you know,
sons
we
come to me and
we
say,
have a
hey,
separate bathroom if you
how
want to go
are
in
you going to
there.
protect
This is,
my son if
you
he's
know.
accused
we
of
have
something?
the obvious
Exactly, that's a
Violence
good
from
point.
parents. And you know,
We don't like being
that have
accused of
daughters,
things.
you know, because
Yeah.
a female
You know,
comes into the boys'
being
bathroom,
violated
in the bathroom,
makes an
privacy
accusation.
concerns,
True.
but also
Who's there
you know,
to-
I've had
to say
Yeah.
kind of guilty
parents of
until
teenage-
proven
Guilty,
innocent.
and in our
There's
culture
just so
today,
many things
yeah.
that how are you
failed
going
to
to protect
address
when
when
my
making
son
this
if he's accused of
decision
something?
that affects-
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have your hands full. Let's just say you have your hands full
Yeah.
in the school board. Now,
Challenge.
challenge.
Yeah.
That would be enough for most people. Yeah. But you still feel there's one more thing you really are called to do. And what is that?
So, you know, going back a little bit, COVID hits 2020. There's a lot of steps taken by the governor and the bureaucracies that were complete overreach of their position. So, you know,
I agree.
shutting down businesses, the mandates, not allowing people to see their loved ones in nursing homes.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
whole vaccine.
It just
pressure.
continued to
It's
snowball.
just- yeah, we could talk about that for another hour.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, I felt the Lord wanted me to do something, but I didn't know what that was. So
Yeah.
it was, with time, I discovered that was running for school board, and then it was getting involved as a county central committee person,
Yeah.
with a Republican County Central Committee.
Yes.
And, you know.
Which you are on that board now.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I filled a vacancy in my precinct. But then I discovered, after getting excited about filling that vacancy,
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, now I can really make some change at the local level.
Yeah, I can really
be an
get involved here,
influencer
yeah.
for conservative values and legislation locally. Well, my 2 friends who have been on it for 7 years, I said, what do we do? When do we meet? Well, we don't meet and we don't do anything. And I thought, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a real failure with the leadership. So then I dug into who's the leadership?
Yeah,
You know?
who's in charge of this? Yeah.
And so then I learned about State Central Committee members.
Mm-hmm.
So State Central Committee, Republican State Central Committee, they are the board of directors for the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 representatives for every Senate district.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's 33 Senate districts.
Yes.
For our district, we have 2, a male and a female.
Yeah.
So every Senate district has a male and a female
Mm-hmm.
for a total of 66 State Central Committee members.
Yeah.
These people have a lot of power,
Yes, sir.
and they make a lot of the decisions for the rest of us,
Yeah.
Ohioans. So
Yeah.
they determine who gets endorsed, who gets the money,
Mm-hmm.
who ends up on your ballot, that you end up determining whether you're going to vote for them or not.
If you vote party line, right? So
yeah,
aren't they the ones that provide like the
like the slate.
slate?
Yes.
Yeah. So they decide who's going to be on that slate.
Yep.
So it's very important
Yeah. it
who's
is
going to be
very
on that
important.
slate. And so that's a very important role.
Yeah, and the reason I decided to go ahead and run for State Central Committee for my district is because I did not believe my female representative was doing the best job that she could be doing. I'm not seeing the leadership at the county level. I'm not seeing a platform at the county level for our party. When I say platform, I'm talking about what are those conservative principles that we're going to write down and make plain
What's important
to our candidates
yeah.
that we're vetting, that were, pro-life, pro.
What are we for? What are we
Yes,
for? Yeah.
Our medical freedom, private and public entities, they don't get to tell me what I put in my body. We want to make sure that our candidates are agreeing to these kinds of conservative values.
Yeah.
And the reason why we have a governor, a purple pastel governor, like we have in so many other office holders, is because we have failed to have a platform, to have a vision,
Yeah.
and then to hold them accountable to that.
Yeah.
So now we are where we are at. We have a
Yeah.
lot of work to do.
There's a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah.
So, should you not win this position for State Central Committee, what's next? What's the agenda?
My standard operating procedure so far has been to ask the Lord what to do and then wait on Him for guidance. And so far, He's every step of the way. He's shown me this is what you're going to do next. This is the door I'm going to open for you here. So I am just following His lead and waiting for Him to let me know. If I don't win, I'm sure there's something else that He has in store for me. I think I'm not going to go backwards as far as I am more politically involved now than I've ever been in my life.
Yes.
More aware of who my representatives are at the local level, at the state level. I think, again,
Yeah.
a lot of us
A lot
are
of
kind
us
of
are,
waking up
yeah.
and going, oh my gosh, I entrusted these people to do a job of representing me and my values and my beliefs, and they have failed me.
Or not even showed up at all.
Yeah. And
Not even
Yeah.
being engaged in it all, anyway.
yeah, and so I've really personally woken up to, I need to get involved. I need to know what is going on and to make change at the local level. And that's something everyone can do.
Yeah.
Everyone can get involved at the local level.
Yeah, you and I circulate amongst people.
Yep.
We've met, I don't know how many times, multiple times
Yeah.
at different events. And the people that we are meeting, where there's 3,000 or 30,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Well, this has woke me up to what's going on.
Yeah.
How do I get involved? How do I get engaged?
Yes.
Right? And so that's the whole huge movement here in the
Yes,
state of Ohio.
definitely.
It woke us up.
Yes.
So this was my first year ever voting. So
Yay.
I registered to vote. I was collecting signatures from Neil Peterson. So you had to be registered to do that.
Yes.
And so I was a missionary most of my life in Puerto Rico. I didn't get involved in politics. Like you, it wasn't until 2020 that, okay, I got to get
Light
involved.
bulb.
The light bulb moment. So for me, it was the signatures.
Yeah.
So for me, voting, I didn't know anything about it. It's way different from what I would have remembered as a young man, like
Yeah.
20 years ago. And so I go in for the first time, and they're like, here, are you Republican or Democrat? And I'm like, well, I'll do Republican primary. And what do I do? You know, So they were nice enough to help me, and I picked the 3 that I wanted, that I knew,
Yeah.
people I knew. So Peterson for Blystone for governor, John Adams. These are people I knew and
Yeah.
that had prayed with.
Yeah.
So I just went with those.
Yeah.
And I knew they had similar motivations.
Yes.
Right. And then Mark Paquita.
Yeah.
Because I had seen him. I have a lot of friends that ran for U.S. Senate. I really enjoyed meeting every one of them.
Yeah.
And I would love to see them carry on. Like there
Right.
was not one person I met and said, I don't think you should do anything.
Right.
Like I was excited about each one. The reason I ultimately decided to vote for Mark was I have seen him in all of these other places supporting candidates himself,
Yes.
personally.
Yep.
That spoke to me because that's his personal money and he's getting involved, educating people.
Yes. Education.
Getting them
Huge.
educated and saying, hey, you need to run for office.
Yes.
You need to make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do. So in that way, I decided that was the thing. And you and I were comparing notes. Seems
Yeah.
like we went down the same
Yeah.
same
Very
way.
similar.
Yeah. But then after that,
Yeah.
it was like judges, Supreme Court, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea.
Right.
Like these are the 3 I know I met, we've interacted.
Yeah.
After that, though, I was like, I don't know who to vote for. And so
That's where your county central committee
Yeah.
and your state central committee should really be coming into play with the
Exactly.
education
Yeah.
of their constituents.
Yeah.
Inviting these people to come in, making them accessible to us so that
Vi-
we can ask
yeah.
them questions,
Yeah.
get to know them. I mean, this is crucial to getting the right candidates in place who truly represent what our conservative values and beliefs are.
Yeah,
So,
and that's why you're here today.
Yeah.
Because the Tipp Center Meet the Candidates, I've told and I've recorded and said, if you're a Democrat or Independent Republican, I don't care who you are, we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Let's get you in front of us. Let's meet you. Let's learn about you, right? And what's motivating you, what's moving.
Yeah.
Because I came very misinformed, or uninformed, I would say.
I was as well.
Yeah, I was uninformed about
Yeah.
okay, I know these 3 guys, what's next?
Yeah.
What are these things that we're voting on? Now, there's an important thing that we need to point out. The primary in May 3rd,
Yeah.
that's not the only primary for the state of
No.
Ohio.
Nope.
So what's next? What's the next primary and how does that impact you?
So the next primary is going to be August 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of the redistricting that's going on and not having that settled yet and still kind of hung up in the courts, they made the decision to have 2 primaries. So we had the May 3rd primary,
Mm-hmm.
and that covered, your auditor, your attorney general, the gubernatorial candidate, and the federal Senate race. But now in August, that's going to cover our House rep, our state House rep
Yeah.
race, our Senate race at the state level, and also state central committee,
State Central
Yep.
Committee, which you're running for.
which is the very, not well-known office
Yeah.
that we're all starting to learn about and understand how important
So
they are. Yeah.
the last question is, let's say you win,
Uh-huh.
State Central Committee,
Yep.
what are you doing next?
Reform, reform, reform.
Yeah, reform.
Yes, I am definitely a reformer. So what I mean by that is it's a mess right now, frankly, at the State Central Committee. They are, again, the board of directors for the Republican Party. They haven't had an audit in something like 14 to 16 years. So I come in, I got to start cleaning house right off the bat. So we got to start doing those yearly audits. We've got to start holding these people accountable. We need a plan, a platform, a vision for the party, which is something that I would help create. We need something to hold the candidates accountable to that we don't have right now. We don't have anything to hold our candidates accountable to.
Yeah.
And so we end up with purple pastel candidates and not bold red conservative candidates. So a lot of work to do. Want to get rid of the appointees. No more people sitting there that are appointed by DeWine or Kasich because they have a vested interest. How are they going to vote?
You want people who have been voted in by the people.
Yes, and not appointed by DeWine or people that,
Yeah.
So
We want people who the people have chosen.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you coming in today. Our interview has been wonderful. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This will be available on our Facebook page.
Okay.
So,
I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Thank
well,
you.
thank you very much, Jessica, for coming in. And thank you guys for viewing. And get out there, get involved. And, if you know someone that needs to be interviewed, bring them along. All right, have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.